reframe what laziness really is, why it shows up, and how to work with your brain, not against it. Why laziness is mostly a myth. Modern society treats laziness like a moral failure. If you're not productive in a way that's socially approved, working, studying, grinding, something must be wrong with you. But psychology tells us a very different story. Research consistently shows that what we call laziness is usually linked to burnout, depression, chronic stress, low dopamine or motivation, executive dysfunction, or emotional overload. In other words, your brain isn't refusing to work, it's protecting itself. When your mental or emotional resources are depleted, your brain shifts into conservation mode. It prioritizes comfort, familiarity, and low effort rewards. Not because you're weak, but because energy is limited. That's biology, not laziness. Why you still have energy for fun things. Here's where people get confused. You might feel lazy, but still have the energy to grind quests in video games or binge your favorite anime or scroll endlessly. Or yeah, even indulge in things society absolutely does not label as productive. So people assume if you can do that, you're just avoiding responsibility. But neuroscience says otherwise. Your brain runs on dopamine, not discipline. Activities that give clear rewards, progress bars, levels, or emotional payoff are easier to engage with, especially when you're depleted. Video games work because the goals are clear, the feedback is immediate, the effort to reward ratio is fair. Life tasks often don't offer that. So when you choose comfort over effort, it's not because you don't care, it's because your brain needs momentum before it can handle difficulty. The real way to overcome laziness. Momentum. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You don't overcome laziness by forcing motivation. You overcome it by starting where energy already exists. Momentum comes before motivation, not after. Psychologists call this the behavioral activation loop. Action, reward, motivation, more action. So instead of asking, what should I be doing? Try asking, what am I already doing that works for me? And then build from there. If you're already gaming, ask, can I set one small real-life task between sessions? If you're watching anime, can I stretch, hydrate, or clean one surface during the intro? If you're scrolling, can I save one thing that inspires me instead of doom scrolling? Small wins matter more than big intentions. Different laziness, different solutions. Let's break this down by what might actually be happening underneath. If you feel lazy because you're depressed, depression drains motivation at a neurological level. Your brain literally struggles to anticipate reward. Here's what helps. Tiny, low-pressure goals. Routine over motivation. Compassion instead of self-criticism. Doing less consistently beats forcing more. If you feel lazy because you're anxious or overwhelmed, your brain may be stuck in threat mode. Here's what helps. Breaking tasks into absurdly small steps. Writing everything down to reduce mental load. Focusing on what's next, not what's everything. Overwhelm looks like procrastination, but it's really fear. If you don't even know where to start, that isn't laziness, that's lack of direction. Here's what helps. Exploring before committing. Trying things without making them your identity. Letting curiosity lead instead of pressure. You don't need a life plan to move forward, you just need the next experiment. If you feel lazy because you lack resources, time, or connections, that's not laziness, that's reality. Here's what helps. Adjusting expectations, working within constraints, acknowledging systemic barriers instead of blaming yourself. You're figuring out how to adapt. You're not behind. ADHD, mental health, and mislabeled laziness. For people with ADHD, trauma, or serious mental health conditions, just start advice often backfires. Executive dysfunction makes task initiation genuinely difficult. Psychosis, dissociation, or chronic fatigue change what's possible on a given day. In these cases, support matters more than strategies. If this resonates with you, you are not alone and you're not broken. Your brain just plays by different rules. Redefining what matters. Okay, here's the takeaway. None of us are lazy. We're just exhausted, overwhelmed, misunderstood, or living in a system that only values one type of productivity. Even things we now celebrate, like creating YouTube videos, were once dismissed as the lazy way out. Now look at creators like Mr. Beast or platforms like Psych2Go. What matters isn't whether something looks productive. What matters is whether it moves you forward, even slowly. So instead of asking, how do I stop being lazy? Try asking, what's the hard thing I actually want to build toward? And what's one small step I can take today? If any part of this video resonated, let us know in the comments how your day is going, even if it's messy or uneventful. Your comments genuinely help this video reach more people who might need it. And if you'd like a part 2, where we dive deeper into specific conditions like ADHD, burnout recovery, or motivation when life feels stuck, tell us what you want to see. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.